breaking news: John Gruden is going to resign.
Bro.
John Gruden is going to resign as the coach.
What?
Says he tells his staff he plans to resign from those emails.
Welcome back to 2.5 Fans. We are now on episode 7. That's 7 weeks of pure bliss, guys. My name's Cookie. We have Jay and Boon here ready to rumble. But before we begin, I would love to ask you guys to like, subscribe, and leave us some feedback on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the above. Okay. Also, thank you to everybody who has supported and listened to us so far. Now let's begin. It's been a weird weekend. It's been a good weekend. I had fun. Y'all had fun?
I had a great weekend. It was
Had a great weekend.
Made a lot of money and had a good time watching football.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to start off with college football. First, I think this is the best weekend in college football in years. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think there's always like one or two weekends every year that are awesome, but last year there weren't any because of COVID. So for sure, I think this was the most fun, like 2-day watching sports weekend in a long time. It felt great. I think we're gonna have a couple more of them this year because of how college football is. But as of right now, going back to COVID, this was the best year in a long time, or best weekend in a long time. By far.
I don't know about you guys, but like at the 12 o'clock games, I was like my thumb just like, all right, this game. I had like 3 screens going. I'm like, I don't know what to watch. I was like, I don't know even what my bets are going. I was like, this is great. I haven't had this in like years. I haven't been able to like this excited and pumped up.
Yeah, and a couple of the games were staggered. So like one was finishing, and then you were able to change the channel and watch the end of another one. That noon slot was
those
awesome.
2 noon spots, the 2 big games, and then there was like 1/3 like game that was just trying to get back. It was insane.
Yeah. What got me was the Alabama and the Michigan game, like going down to the wire at the same time. I didn't know what to do, flip back and forth. They need a red zone for college football. I
said that Saturday. I went upstairs. I was in the basement. I said the same thing.
That'd be so hard. I guess if you only do top 25, that'd be sweet. But like,
yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I just wonder who ESPN would never let that happen because they make so much money.
No.
And you have all these games at different
phenomenal
networks.
weekend though. Just awesome weekend.
It was a great week.
Yeah.
All right, so we have had a lot of things happen this weekend, I think. So we're from Michigan. What do you guys think? We got 2 top 10 teams from Michigan. Who's the real top 10? Boon, Michigan. Are they real? Are they a real top 10 team for you?
Yeah, I mean, with what's going on in college football, I think Michigan is, and I'm going to say the same thing for Michigan State is like we both like haven't played our big games yet, so it's easy to say so. But like Michigan is, and I think it was like last week Jay said like our defense is just so good. They can step up when they need to, and as soon as the passing game gets rolling, when they figure something out in that, they're going to be a really, really good football team, like a really good team.
I agree. Yes and yes, you say, right? Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, as of right now, I say yes and yes. Now, it's very possible both of them don't finish in the top 10. Very possible. I think one of them for sure is going to fall out of the top 10. Right now, yes, both of them are top 10 teams.
Yeah. Now, do you think when Michigan and Michigan State play, if they're both top 10 teams at that time and someone has to lose, do you think one of them's dropping out of that top 10 after losing that game?
Not far, but yes.
Not far. I think they'll drop to like 10, 11, depending on what they do the next week.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know how that would work. I don't know how high Michigan or Michigan State can go in that top 10 right now without big games up until that Michigan and Michigan State game. But I would love to see them both, 5 and 6, 5 and 7 ranked. So I think both of them are real top 10 teams. I think I hate to say this, but I think Michigan's a little more real as a top 10 team because of their defense. And Michigan State, their defense isn't too good, even though we only allowed, 13 points. So I don't think the defense is that good, and there's some holes. And
I'm nervous for team. I'm nervous for State too, because like watching the Rutgers game, like obviously they won, the score looked 30 something to 13, but like Rutgers got the ball inside the 30, like 7 out of their 11 or 12 possessions.
Yeah.
And they just were fumbling it. They just were getting penalties, getting pushed back. Like Rutgers, if they don't shoot themselves in the foot, Rutgers is in that game and they have a chance to probably win against State. And State was like they were putting up just as many mistakes, which makes me worried about them. Like when they get in a big game versus a good defense, what are they going to do? They're not going to throw the ball over Ohio State or Michigan. Walker might be able to run it, but that's the only thing I'm worried about.
I think they have to tighten up a little bit on defense for Michigan State. Once they could tighten up a little bit, I think Michigan State will be good. I think that would make them a real contender. The coaching, Mel Tucker was a little iffy. I do have to add, he was a little iffy that game.
That first half, he had 2 or 3 things that were just horrific.
Yeah.
Horrific. He went for it on 4th down in their own territory. And then that play call management at the end of the second half was trash. And then Shiano with the awesome. I have not seen somebody use the timeouts that well.
Oh man!
The kicker makes 2 in a row, and then he misses the 3rd.
He still had another one. I thought he was going to use it.
Is that a patch hoodie? Is that a patch hoodie?
It is.
That thing is
the Michigan patch hoodie.
Oh wow! How much you have to bet for that?
If Tucker does that versus a big team like Penn State or Michigan or Ohio State, that's a 14-point swing, and they lose that game. They lose that game by 14.
I'll tell you one thing right now. They won that game, but Mel Tucker went home that night and he looked himself in the mirror. He said, "All right, man, I got to be more prepared."
Yep.
Look, you win the game at the end of
him and the staff
half,
talked about it. They need to regroup
at the end of
that.
the first half, and then you win the game how you start the second half. So you can't do that. That was terrible clock management. But big plays, man. Michigan State big plays. Huge plays.
Oh yeah.
That saved him versus Rutgers. A couple big plays.
It was so
big plays. Hey, good teams make big plays.
I was watching the Texas-Oklahoma game, and Michigan State would be like 1st and 10 from from their 23, and then all of a sudden the score would change. I'm like, what'd they do? Another 70-yard touchdown. So, but as of right now, I think they're both top 10 teams. If you ask me, as the season goes on, I think they both are out of the top 10. But
we'll see. Just hope. Yeah. We'll just hope they stay in there and contend. They're gonna, Big Ten, like we said before, they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot.
They're not gonna fall far though. And I agree.
There's just too many good teams in the top 10.
Yeah,
like they all play each other. None of them have played each other yet, besides Iowa, Penn State.
Yeah. Well, that brings us on to the next topic. What's next for certain teams? Because there were some wins, there were some losses, and we don't really know how the season's gonna go for like the college football playoff. Picture there. So starting off, big, massive loss, Alabama. They lost to Texas A&M 41-38. Jay, what do you think about that? What's next for them?
No big deal. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll still win out, play in the SEC title game, and have a chance to go to the Final Four.
Yep.
Boon?
I agree. They're still my national champion. They have an easy schedule. Not easy, but it's easy, winnable.
They'll win the next 4 games very easily. They have to play Arkansas. I think is their only last hard game left. They have Auburn. Alabama.
They just have to get to that title game. And
they'll play Georgia in the SEC title game, and then they'll have a chance at their own destiny.
It's what we talked about at the beginning of the year. Georgia, Bama. Georgia 0 losses. If Bama wins, then they get 2 in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's the same thing we talked about earlier.
That's how it's going to be. I think this is no big deal for Bama. There's going to be teams that are going to lose. Big name teams. Bama's just got to go in there and take care of business. They control their own destiny, like you said, Jay. And we will see the SEC title game when it's Bama and Georgia. One loss Bama and 1 loss Georgia going in there. We'll see what happens.
So you think Georgia's going to be 1 loss?
No, like if going into the playoff.
The title game.
Yeah, if Bama wins,
they'll both get in.
That'll be a fun game.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game. All right. Oklahoma, they had a big win against Texas. Big win.
Awesome.
Boon, what's next for Oklahoma?
I still don't think. I'm not convinced with Oklahoma still. No. To be honest, they suck. I don't like them. They're ranked high. They're pulling off these tough games. I haven't seen their schedule, but I'm pretty sure they have an easy path. But I'm just
if
they play every team tough, man.
If they win out, you think they're gonna make it to the playoff?
Yeah, they
Big.
will. If they win out, they 100% will. But I mean, they're just not like Alabama or Georgia, like everyone.
No.
Like they're still going through quarterback problems. Like,
Yeah.
They shouldn't have won that game. They were down 3 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I disagree. I looked up this Caleb Williams guy because I was
he's legit.
yeah, he was a 5-star. So maybe Lincoln Riley had the wrong guy. And I would not be surprised if Oklahoma gets cooking a little bit. You know, like you said, they've played some close games. So
I still think I just looked pulled up their schedule. They still have some tough games too.
How many schools are like Oklahoma though that your starting Heisman frontrunner quarterback goes down and you bring in a kid who's another 5-star? I think they're going to be fine. I think this guy fits more of the Oklahoma quarterback mold than the other guy does. Watch out for Oklahoma. I think they're better with this kid than they are with the other one.
That offense at the end was legit. Like that,
offense and that's when the new kid came, right?
It could be, the comeback came
around.
all from when he came in. This could be one of those scenarios where Texas wasn't ready for him and they weren't prepared for him, and he surprised them a little bit. But I'm excited to see what Oklahoma does now. I think they got their guy.
I think they could lose at least 1 or 2 more games. 1 or 2.
I don't think they can. Oh, you're saying that you think that this year
they play Baylor. Baylor's 5-6-1.
Yeah.
Iowa State, Oklahoma State, they could easily drop 2 out of the 3 of those if they play like they did versus the start of Texas or earlier versus Tulane or something.
Yeah,
but I am excited. I am excited for this kid. I want to watch him next weekend.
Yeah, we'll see.
That second half was good.
Yeah, awesome. he came out. Oklahoma, I think it's a big win for them. I think they're gonna win out. They'll win their conference. If they can win out in a high fashion, they should be rightfully into that college football playoff. I just don't want to see them. I just don't want to see them they win out but struggle against teams they should not struggle against and be in that college football playoff. That's just the one thing, because there are levels to college football, and you have Alabama and Georgia, and they're 1 and 2, and there's a significant difference with that 3, 4, and 5 level. So we'll see how Oklahoma, maybe with this new guy, that new quarterback, they have their guy and they could be back up in that top tier level. Ohio State. Ohio State is cooking.
I'm not happy about it.
Ohio State is cooking. Ohio State is cooking right when they need to be cooking. So, Jay, what's next for Ohio State? How is their season going to play out?
So the earlier question about is Michigan State or Michigan a top 10 team? I think what's going to happen, mathematically speaking, is somebody has to lose that Michigan State game. 1 loss. Neither of them are beating Ohio State.
So that puts one of them at least 1 or 2 losses.
One of them has at least 2 losses. Okay.
I agree.
So, and you still have to play Penn State.
Yep.
Ohio State, like Oklahoma, everybody was so used to them coming out of the gate so fast. Ohio State is cooking.
They are cooking right now.
They are cooking. Dude.
It's what you said. You've been saying it all year. Their offense is so good. Once their offense really starts going on all cylinders, they're right back to where they were. Their defense doesn't even have to do anything. They'll put up 50 points.
I think they're
so good.
That is.
I think the best thing for the Big Ten. I'll wait because we're going to talk about Iowa and Penn State. But Ohio State cooking, they're flying. They're going to be hard to stop.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and so that's one big win. That Ohio State, not one big win, but big blowout. That's 2 in a row now. They've been blowing them out. I believe Ohio State is cooking at the right time. They're going to get hot. That one Oregon loss does not mean anything if they win out. That's just they better be in that playoff if once they win out, which they would be.
They'll be fine.
And I think Ohio State is going to win out and win the Big Ten and go into the playoff. That's my prediction for Ohio State.
Yeah.
We had Penn State versus Iowa. Big game. Okay, that's the top 5 game.
I thought that game sucked.
Penn State lost by 3. Penn State lost by 3.
I thought the injury to Penn State sucked, and I thought Iowa. I thought their offense sucks. I thought it was just a boring game.
I don't think it was
Iowa's offense isn't usually that bad. Like I was watching it, like this isn't the Iowa team I've seen the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think they struggled the hype of the game, but for them to pull that game out, that was huge.
Yeah,
that was the best thing for the Big Ten.
Yeah, I agree.
because
yeah.
you got Iowa now. So let's just say Iowa would have lost, right? You would have had Penn State undefeated, and they're going to lose a game or somewhere in there. In that
Michigan,
list, right?
State, Ohio State.
So now Iowa goes undefeated on their side, right?
Mhm.
Let them be number 3 for the rest of the year, or number 2 for the rest of the year. Iowa. They'll go to the Big Ten championship game, and it'll be like a monster game. Number 2 versus whoever, right? So we wanted Iowa to win. We want them to go undefeated. Let them be undefeated on their side. They get into the Big Ten championship game. I thought that was the best thing for the Big Ten. That guy getting hurt for Penn State fucked the game. They would have won if he didn't get hurt, the quarterback.
Yeah. That was a big injury.
Huge.
That's like one of the biggest wins in Iowa that Iowa's had in a while, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Like, I feel like they always lose big
years for sure.
Big games, the big games that they've been in, that Michigan State Iowa Big Ten title game, they lost coming down. Like, I don't think Iowa typically plays well in big games, but it shows maybe they are a better team than they have been in the past, and they're a real top 5 team because they faced a top 5 team, big game, they faced the adversity and they won. They came out with it. So injuries happen. It's football. So they came out and they got the dub, and I guess that's all that matters right now.
We wanted that to happen.
We want it.
I don't think Iowa was very good, but we wanted that to happen. Let them win out. Let them be awesome, so that when whoever from our side of the Big Ten, if one of us happens to break through, that game is going to be monster.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
I think any of the teams, whoever gets to the Big Ten championship game will beat Iowa.
We'll beat Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be prepared, played big games.
Any one of the big 4 out of our side. Well, now that Penn State, I think that Ohio State will beat the shit out of fucking.
Or Michigan.
Ohio State will literally stomp on Iowa.
I don't know if Michigan's offensively aggressive enough to beat the shit out of Iowa, but
they could do what Penn State did, slow them down on defense, and
but that's not beating the shit out of them. Ohio State could drop. Ohio State could win by 3 TDs. They have the offense that can do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they could easily drop 56 points in every single game.
Yeah.
For the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Stay in the Big Ten. All right, we already talked a little bit about Michigan State and Michigan. Jay, what do you think? Michigan State, their chances of winning out. What do you think if they play a Penn State? What's next? Destroyed?
I mean, for Michigan State, what's next? They got to get through Michigan, and after that, it doesn't matter. I think they're going to lose to Ohio State. So,
where do you think they're going to rank at the end of the season? What's your take on that? Let's say that's probably a better question.
They'll lose 1 to 2 games.
National ranking.
National ranking.
They'll lose 1 to 2 games. I'm thinking more like 2. I think they can beat Penn State, especially now that the quarterback's out. I think they're a top 15 to 17 team, depending on if they go 1 loss. I mean, they'll be a fringe playoff team.
Oh yeah,
yeah, 1 loss.
Which I don't think they will be. I think they'll lose to Ohio State, and I think they'll split somewhere else in that rest of that schedule.
Yeah, I hope Michigan State goes 1 loss. I don't see it happening. I see a Penn State loss, or if that, I don't know how bad that injury is to that quarterback.
I think the same thing of Michigan as I do Michigan State.
Yeah,
each of them identical.
But big bowl game at least. This is a good season for us. I think we're both going to be in a big bowl game.
I think Michigan State will lose 2 or 3. Michigan State will lose 2 or 3 games.
Michigan could. Yeah, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think for state, it's fair to think that they could easily either lose all 3 of those big games, or they could go lose 2 of them. Or
same with Michigan though.
I think it's they could easily go down and lose 2 or 3 games and have 3 losses at the end of the year, and you're like, oh wow, that happened quick, because it's all back-to-back weeks too.
Yeah. I think Michigan has a better chance of beating Penn State because of their defense. It's going to be a slow game, I think.
Penn State's offense sucks.
I know, but so that's
even
why
with their starting quarterback.
So that's why I think Michigan has a better chance for that. And Penn State hits down the middle all the time. All their throws, they're, when they throw the ball, they're throwing slants, they're throwing checkdowns. And Michigan State's terrible right there. That's their secondary is trash. They can't cover.
I don't think there's any reason to talk about Michigan. I don't think there's any reason to talk about Michigan or Michigan State until after they play each other. Then
I think after that, and then I think the only meaningful game after that, obviously Penn State. But I think if whoever wins that game, when they play Ohio State, that's going to be like the determining factor. That's all it comes down to. It's just going to be that one Ohio State, Michigan, or Michigan State game.
And then the last one for me is, I think this is the biggest surprise for me this year, is Cincinnati.
They're going to lose.
They're going to lose.
No, they
They're
won't.
going to lose a game.
They won't lose a game. I said it last, like coming from last year, like they're going to lose a game. They're going to win out. Who do you think they're going to lose to?
Game. This year, 2021 has it written all over it. Chaos.
No, but that's chaos. They don't play anyone. They don't play anyone.
Yeah, they have a.
And they're a really good football team.
No, they have a game. I think I forgot how I was doing that earlier today.
SMU, but they'll beat SMU. SMU's had a couple of lucky games. They're ranked, but they'll beat SMU. They're too good. They're easily a top 10 team, and they don't play a top 25 opponent.
No, the football gods are going to work in our favor because we do not want Cincinnati in the Final Four.
I think Cincinnati makes it.
Why?
I said we go back to episode 1. I think they make it.
What a waste of a game.
Is that like Michigan State against Alabama?
It'll be worse.
Final Four.
It'll be worse.
You think it's gonna be worse? I mean, Cincinnati played well against Notre Dame, who was a top 10 team at the time.
Garbage. Let me ask you.
Notre Dame's trash, though.
Let me ask you this.
But I do think Cincy's actually a good football team.
Let me ask you this.
Keep on giving them the credit.
Final Four is Georgia, Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Would Cincinnati even be a 2 touchdown? What would they be? 2 or 3 touchdown underdog in the Final Four game?
2 or 3, 100%. It'd be both. But I don't think. But I think like the thing when you look at all these teams right now, if you put Cincinnati up against Oklahoma next week, they'll beat Oklahoma.
Oh, I don't know about that, dude.
So you're going to put Oklahoma in that 4th spot there.
Yeah.
That was my next question. Does Cincinnati beat Oklahoma? If those two,
Oklahoma would beat Cincinnati.
So I mentioned tiers. There's tiers to college football. Is Cincinnati below Oklahoma in that tier?
Cincinnati's below Michigan and Michigan State. Michigan and Michigan State would both be winning. Like
I don't think you have you watched their games?
They're explosive.
They're good. Like they're a legit football team. People like just hear like, oh, Cincinnati. They just hear Cincinnati.
Who have they played?
But they're legit. They're legit. They beat Notre Dame. I know Notre Dame's not great.
Who have they played?
They dominated.
They really haven't played anyone except Notre Dame and Indiana. Those are the only two. But Indiana put up 24 points on them. They won 38-24. They won by 14. 2 touchdowns.
I mean, they're just going out there dominating every team they play, like putting 50 points up on every team. Like they're an explosive team. They have a good quarterback. Their defense is solid. Like,
yeah,
I just don't see them just going out there and just getting beat by 40.
It's going to be interesting.
If they win out,
they would get absolutely embarrassed. It would be a waste of the Final Four game.
It's going to be interesting if Ohio State wins out. Bama, Oklahoma, Georgia went out, and those top 3 are solid.
I'll take a 1-loss Oklahoma over undefeated Cincinnati.
It's going to get a little interesting.
Let them in. Let Cincinnati in.
We've seen
let
this.
the chaos go. Let the chaos go.
We've seen this before. We've seen this before. Cincinnati would get smoked. It will be a waste of a Final Four game.
Yeah, we'll see. We got
I hope the football gods work in our favor. And they lose.
We got a lot of football to play, so we'll see.
Yeah.
With a lot of football to be played, we're still early in the season. We're halfway through the season now, right? So we got a good take on what teams, if they're good or bad, and we really need to know hot seat for college football coaches. What do you guys think? Boon, Coach Ed at LSU, you think he's on the hot seat? You think he should stay?
Gone. No,
you think he's gone?
He's gone. He's a joke. Like, I mean, they won the national championship. He had a good team, but besides that, I mean, what has he done? You know, this year they're just every big game he's in, they lose. Even though some small games they lose. Like, it's a joke at this point. Just move on, bring someone else in, Deion Sanders or someone, get someone big time in and turn the program around. Like, get a big name in there, and that's a program that you want. Like, everyone's like LSU, and now he, you know, it's a joke at this point.
Jay, safer.
Yeah, I think he was on. I think he was on the hot. He's talking about Coach O still.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think he was on the hot seat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Before they won the national title, he was starting to get a little bit antsy there. He had a great staff with them, and he had quite possibly the greatest team of all time. So I think he bought himself a couple years. What's crazy is, so Coach O won a national title at LSU.
Yeah.
Nick Saban won a national title at LSU.
See where you're going.
Who was the other one? Les Miles won a national title.
He didn't win. He didn't win it.
Yes, he did.
I thought he reached it and he lost.
No, he won an LSU. He won a national title at LSU. I'm almost positive. So they've shown 3 different coaches in I know it's been a long stretch, but You can win. I mean, you can win there. They're gonna bring somebody in. I think he's so. Boone, do you think he's fired after the season?
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, yeah, I do think so. I don't
They're
know
not
how
gonna
like
fire
it
him
works in
mid-season.
college at during mid-season.
They're
But
not gonna
like I
fire
kept
him
saying,
mid-season.
I just kept seeing like if they lose next, like versus Kentucky, like he's going to be on the hot seat. And you might not see him coach the next week. I
They'll
kept
give him the
seeing
respect.
that, but
They'll give him the
I-
respect that he deserves. They'll give him the respect. He won a national title. He's a good dude.
I think he's
would
done
be
though.
ve-
No matter
I
what
would be
happens the rest of the
very-
season.
I would be
Didn't-
very surprised if they fire him mid-season.
Did LSU fire Les Miles in the middle of the season? I think they did. I
Why
think
would
they
have done
fired.
that?
I think they fired like Les Miles.
And then
or
Ojan
no.
became the interim.
I'm not too sure. Maybe the interim was the next year.
Hey,
I may be corrected.
LSU Ed is done. Listen to this. Next week they play number 20 Florida. The week after they play number 13 Ole Miss. The week after they play Alabama. The week after they play 17 Arkansas. Then they have Louisiana Monroe, and then their last game is versus number 21 Texas A&M.
They could have
Yeah.
5 losses in a
Five
row.
out of his last 6 games are against them.
If he
some of the
loses
best teams
5 games
in
in
the
a row,
SEC.
they have to fire. They have to.
So
they
they'll
can't.
have a 4-win season, 5-win
Yeah.
season total.
It's insane.
yeah.
After a national championship. just
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
couple years ago.
he's gone. He look, he maxed it out. He got that ring there. He should never
Hmm.
have got it in the first place.
Yeah.
Is he actually a good coach?
He's a great
Or was it
recruiter.
just
I heard
was it
he's
his
good.
just his assistants?
I heard no. Well, they say that Joe Brady guy was there with Burrow and that he was like
Yep.
the offensive genius. But they say Ed Ogeron's one of the best recruiters in the country. Like top.
Okay.
Yeah. I've heard
he's an
that. Like his
unbelievable
people
recruiter.
person could
Unbelievable.
grab anybody off the streets.
Unbelievable people guy.
Yeah. What about Scott Frost in Nebraska? Hot seat or is he safe?
Safe. I think he's
Safe?
safe. I mean, he actually is. Nebraska's they're not legit. I think I could take back what I said last week. Like they're a tough team. They're not good. Like I was saying, they're not good, but they're tough. Like especially if you go to Nebraska.
I agree with you, Brett. But like you see that Illinois game was a little fluky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've gotten better.
It's like every week they're progressing, and you could
could-
see it. Like
They could
get
have
better
3
and better
wins
and
right
better.
now. They could have 3 wins right now against teams that are in the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah.
They
And
easily
he-
could have
the team
easily
loves
could have
him,
won
you
the
can tell.
Oklahoma game. They easily could have won the state game, and they easily could have won the Michigan game.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not going
think
to say
that
easily. Not going to say easily. They had a chance, very good chance, a high probability, in all 3 of those games in the fourth quarter late to win those games.
the state game
also
they
think-
they should have won that in overtime. Like that was like their game.
Yeah, but you know what?
Yeah.
Though it is what it is. But here's my thing about Scott Frost. I think he's safe
Yep.
because they're playing hard, and I think in that division of the Big Ten you can be successful. But here's my thing:
Agreed.
if Scott Frost can't win at Nebraska, then nobody can. I don't know if you guys know the history of Scott
Yeah.
Frost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Didn't he play
again,
there?
I'll show my
Yeah.
age. The guy was a freak there. He was amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, he won a national title. I'm almost positive. He is the guy that is.
He's Nebraska football.
He is Nebraska football. I mean, he's the savior coming back, and
Yep.
if he can't win there, then nobody can. So he's safe.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you guys hear this?
No,
You hear that?
you're
I mean, slightly. You're fine.
fine. You're fine.
So I wanted to like, get like on the fart. Someone be like, "Oh, this dude's farting."
Well, now we're gonna look it up.
Hey. Hey
yeah,
guys.
no.
Here on 2.5 fans, Boone is farting.
Yes.
If you hear a fart, it's just my chair
My chair squeaks too, dude. It's
squeaks
life.
so
It's
loud.
life. All right. What about Mike Norvell? Back to it. Mike Norvell, Florida State, hot seat, or is he safe? You think he's gone? Boone.
I don't know what the contract situation is with him, but that's embarrassing, and I don't think Florida State's gonna. I don't think Florida State's gonna stick around for this.
That
No.
program, that's one of the programs we talked about it week 1, like when that big game, and like that's a program that should be on top every year, like tradition,
Yeah.
and they're not winning football. Like, I mean, they
They
did
were-
win this last week, but didn't
They
they?
were-
They just beat what, right?
When I was growing up,
North Carolina, I think.
they were the premier, number one, most consistent.
I mean, when Jimbo was
Back
there,
in
like,
my day,
No,
Florida
not-
State was really good.
you guys didn't even know fucking Scott Frost went to Nebraska. Learn some history, you chumps. All right,
oh no, I saw it I saw it during the game. It popped
you
up. That's all I
chumps.
knew.
Learn some history.
Boone's
Florida
Googling real
State,
quick.
look up the
Who
stat.
is Scott Frost?
Look up the stat. I think they finished in the top 5 for like 13 years in a row.
Yeah.
Well,
I know Florida State's history. I know Florida
yeah,
State.
Bobby
is-
and I was
Bowden.
even when I
With
was
Bobby
young.
Bowden.
I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen Florida State bad. I feel like.
I'm talking about Boone. When I say the best,
They're like the Alabama.
there was a couple times where
That's
Miami was
crazy.
real sick,
Yeah.
whatever. Nebraska was in the mix, but Florida State, the best game I think I've ever seen in my life was when Michael Vick played one of the best Florida State teams ever for the national title. And
Mhm.
Michael Vick was like a video game player, bro. This was
Yes.
the peak of his fandom or his hype or whatever you want to call it. And he almost beat Florida State by himself. And that Florida State team was so stacked, but it was just too much. But that was incredible time to watch football. Florida State was incredible. They had the best starter coat jacket. I had one as a kid. They were amazing. This guy's on the hot seat.
You still have it?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking wish, man. I wish.
Say
It's like
Rocket.
I used to have a Michael Vick Virginia Tech jersey.
oh, dude.
Have you
I don't know
seen
if you guys were old enough to remember him in college.
I know
No,
my
not
Mike
really.
Vick. I know my Mike Vick. I'm a
Unbelievable,
big
dude.
fan of Michael Vick's football.
Unbelievable, guys.
I'll stop
Unbelievable.
what I was saying.
Yeah. When I say we like, whatever he did
Yeah.
from a criminal perspective,
Uh-huh.
we missed out on potentially seeing somebody that was like really special from a football perspective, right?
Yeah.
In college, he might be the best college football player I've ever seen.
Better
He's
than
definitely
Tebow.
he's definitely top 5. I mean,
Better
he was
than Tim Tebow?
amazing. Better
Tim
than Tebow.
Tebow is like arguably the best college football player ever.
Ever.
College, he's like maybe the best college football like leader and winner and all of that.
Uh-huh.
But when I'm talking about talent, it was Reggie Bush, it was Michael Vick, and then I think
Yeah.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson. Yeah, I could get down with that.
Michael
Well-
Vick was so good, dude. Sorry to get
Yeah.
off topic.
No, I mean that's what we're about. banter.
They're gonna
That's-
fire the guy from Florida State.
Yeah,
Boone,
just let him go.
You brought
Yeah.
up Deion Sanders.
He can
I
go
don't know.
there. He's in state. He's right there. He's just north of him, isn't he?
Yeah,
I don't think they pull that trigger, but
that would be sick.
These
So
these
that would be
teams
sick.
just need to
And
go
big
get
team-
big time coaches, man.
you guys know that Deion Sanders with the Florida State, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get that's what you were getting at, to be honest. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna like
That's why doesn't he coach down in Florida because he loves Florida that much?
He's,
he's in
Is it Florida? Or is it
Mississippi.
Jackson State.
It's Jackson State.
Mississippi, yeah.
That's what got me confused. Maybe I thought Jackson.
Yeah, you thought Jacksonville State. That's the
Yeah.
one that beat Florida State. It's Jacksonville State. Yeah.
Unreal. See, I
Florida
believe
State's
on
so
that.
bad. They already have 4 losses right now. Like
Yeah.
they're just when you hit 3 or 4, it's like all right,
Yeah,
probably time to move on.
it's time to
That's a
move
team
on.
that should be winning every game.
Yeah, they're like competing
Yeah.
with Syracuse and shit now.
Yeah, I think just wrap this up. Coach O gone. Scott Frost, like you said, I agree with you. He's
Safe.
safe. And then Mike Norvell, he's gone. He should have been gone 3 weeks.
You know why
ago.
that job is such a good
Glad
job?
we all can agree.
Yeah,
That's
the
once.
first time we've
That's
been
the
agreed
first time ever.
on that whole segment.
Here on
that whole
2.5
segment.
fans. All right, episode 7.
You know why that
Boone,
Florida State
Jay,
job
Cookie
is
agree.
you know why that Florida State job is so great? Because
Why?
the ACC sucks so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
ACC
The only
is-
team you
could-
worry about is Clemson.
And
ACC might not be around in 3 or 4
Right
more
now, you
years.
don't even have to worry about Clemson.
Just so you know, just remember this when I say ACC might not be around in 3 or 4 years. All right.
Noted.
basketball schools.
Basketball schools there. All right. So we got some good honestly, to be honest, I think it's a weak year for the Heisman. I know we talked about that. It's been a weak year. We have some odds here. Ole Miss quarterback, Matt Corral. He's the favorite for the Heisman. I've never seen one thing about him for him
Cookie.
being the favorite.
Cookie, he is the clear front runner. If you watch
He's-
that game the other day,
Yeah. No, I watched
Clear front
him
runner?
going
But
back and forth with
clear-
that other
What are the
quarterback.
odds difference? What's the odds
Okay,
difference?
so the odds is Matt Corral, Ole Miss, plus 230. And then we got CJ Stroud, plus 1,000. Stroud, whatever it is,
Strudel.
plus
Strudel.
1,000. We got Kenneth Walker, plus 1,200. And then we got Desmond Ritter from Cincy, is plus 1,500.
So
There-
if
there's
I
a
say
couple
right
missing
now,
in there. Is there
it's-
not?
No, that's top 4. That's top
Isn't
4.
Bryce Young like
Yeah.
plus 500 or
No, this is
No,
this
that's
is
after this weekend. It's after
is
this
after
weekend.
this
It's by
weekend's
updated odds.
updated
Yeah.
odds from Caesars.
Here's what I have to say about the Heisman. The reason why you think it's a boring year is because it's early and we have a lot of new quarterbacks. Okay.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be boring. And I do think there's going to be a front runner. And I know who's going to win the Heisman this year.
Say it.
Take the plus 1,000 and take CJ Stroud.
I'm with you on that. Even his receiver, I would even take his receiver.
They both might get the invite. And just like last year,
his receiver was plus 17.
Just like last year
him.
with Mac Jones and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to know who the Heisman is until like maybe week 10, week 8, week 9.
And
I think it's CJ.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too, Cookie, with
Kenneth will get the invite.
He'll
get the invite.
The Kenneth Walker one makes me nervous because I keep seeing it. I'm like, because obviously we're in Michigan, so I keep seeing all these. Oh, Kenneth Walker. The only thing with it is, just like we keep saying with the rankings, State hasn't played many. They didn't play any defensive teams though.
He passes the eye test.
He does.
Nebraska is
going to come down
Nebraska's
to when
not a bad team.
No, I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like when he plays a defense like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, it's gonna. If he keeps it up, then his stock for the Heisman is going to go straight up because it's like he's
going to get invited.
But right now he's played the worst team, the bottom half of the Big Ten, and he's played bad non-conference games. Which
he's good
for how good he is.
Good.
He should be doing what he's doing.
He's good. He's good.
Once he hits these other games, if he does what he does, he'll be in New York for the finalists. If he does what he does versus those three big games,
I think he gets the invite.
I think he has to get the invite. I agree.
I think it just depends.
I agree with Jason. I'll take that plus 1,000.
That's what I think. I think you got to go.
I would take that.
He's got back-to-back weeks, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Who was the last running back to win the Heisman? Was it Derrick Henry?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's hard for a running back to win that Heisman.
Can you guys help me out here? I'm trying to. Cookie, I still have Bryce Young still like plus something, like 600.
What are you looking on? What is
it?
I'm just looking on every website. I just got off DraftKings. I got off Pro Football Network.
Caesars.
Do
you use Caesars?
No.
Okay.
All right, either way, who cares?
Either or.
I don't think either of them.
I'm still in it with Bryce Young. That's my.
I don't think
I'm still with it with Bryce Young.
I don't think Bryce Young is.
If they win out, they're in the SEC. If he wins out and he still puts numbers up, he still has a shot to get invited.
We'll see. Like Jason said,
maybe next year.
Yeah, we'll see next year.
He does have 2 years.
Yeah. He's going to be a good quarterback. I think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback.
And the reason why I say this is it's because Ohio State has the best receivers.
Yeah.
And they have one of the best running backs who can actually catch the ball too. So
the best running back is Kenneth Walker. We'll carry on with that. And Jay, have you fallen in love with any team this week? Did this week make you fall in love with any specific team that was like, wow, they're good?
They say there's a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
And I love Ohio State right now.
Clip it. Clip it.
I hate it so much. Going into week whatever it was when they lost to Oregon, I was so happy because they came out the next week. They looked like shit. They looked like shit against Minnesota. But right now, I hate how much I love Ohio State.
All right, Boon.
I love that, Jay, but I'm gonna take an easy route here. Not a good team. I love Michigan. It's the easy, but I love them. Like I said earlier, once their pass game gets rolling, their defense showed they can get stops down the stretch when they need to.
I don't think Cade's got what it takes.
Cade gets out and JJ gets put. I love Michigan. I'm with Michigan all the way.
Okay.
Michigan will win out.
I will tell you
go to
this
the Big
right
Ten
now.
and they'll beat Iowa, and they'll get into the playoffs.
All right.
This is the most real hype I've ever seen Michigan. They usually have fake hype. You know what about you know how they were dancing at the Wisconsin game.
Yeah.
They were dancing at the Nebraska game. They're having fun and it's not fake. And Michigan's always got fake Twitter and all that. I like it too, but I hate how much I love Ohio State.
I love them. I will bet on them every week, and I'm going to put a bet on them to win the Big Ten, make the playoffs. We'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, we'll do that
later on.
You gotta take that bet now. You probably should take that bet now before the state game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, Boone, you didn't really answer the question because you already loved Michigan, and I already loved Michigan State, but I wanted to know what team you fell in love with. And
let me tell you a team I fall in love with, actually.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
love
you can fall in
Kentucky,
love with
man.
Kentucky.
I
You can
love
fall in love
Kentucky.
with
They
them.
might lose because they play Georgia this week, but I
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah.
That might be their only loss.
See, for me, I don't fall in love anymore, but the one team that I would fall in love with the new quarterback, because it was such a fun game to watch, is Oklahoma.
Man, that's
It's
it. Oh,
Oklahoma.
fuck.
With that new quarterback.
I
that
love them,
game. Yeah,
Whole different team.
that game was so fun to watch.
Damn
That
it.
game was so fun to watch.
I
That's
do
I,
love.
would
I do love.
that. But
I'm really upset right now.
yeah,
I
but
really love.
I'm gonna have to see
Caleb
you. I'm gonna
Williams
have to see you guys go through it in a couple weeks when they lose one or two.
it's all right. But with falling in love with Oklahoma, you can, a lot of bad things can happen. This, we don't know yet. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get my heart
What's your
broken.
deal with Oklahoma, Boone? I mean, they're fun to watch.
Hey,
They're fun to watch, but every game is close, and you know what it's like when you're playing close games in college football. Like one thing goes wrong and you lose. They played Texas. I love Texas.
Me too.
But everyone knows what Texas is like. Like they will blow a game like that. They'll get super.
That wasn't a
hyped up,
blown
and
game.
they're actually
That wasn't a blown game. That was a hard fought game.
That was, dude.
They were
I'm
up 3
so
touchdowns.
mad right now.
Though.
It doesn't.
So mad right now because I would have loved to have taken them. Good pick, Cookie. Fuck.
That's what I do here. Cookie out here making good picks. I'm falling in love.
That quarterback
I
respects them so much.
I do it for sports. I don't do it in my real life.
I love how you two agree, just like you guys agreed on Clemson. I love this.
All right, okay.
Get back to me in 3 weeks.
Chill. All right, we'll chill on that one because I think that we have a sample size now. We didn't have a sample size. That was week 1. We didn't know what was going to happen.
All of our national championship picks have a loss. So shut the fuck up, Boone.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Gambling Man.
I'll take a step back.
Boone.
This
Mr.
has got to be the
Gambling Man.
worst. This is the reason why Boone hates Oklahoma so much.
Yeah.
I
Boone.
hate Oklahoma.
Bad beat. Let us
man.
hear it. Let us hear it. What's a bad beat this week in college football?
I can't. The bad beat of the week. I took Texas +3, or it might have been +3.5. I leave my house thinking that they get it. I see Oklahoma's about to kick a field goal just to win the game by 3. Driving down the road, Wi-Fi cuts out. Game on my phone cuts out. I think they kicked the field goal, and Cookie texts the group chat. And what did you say, Cookie? You were like, "Oh no, no, what happened?" And I can't. My texts aren't going through. Nothing's going through. They break free just trying to run the clock out for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Now I wasn't watching it.
3 seconds left.
Did
3
they
seconds left.
parlays?
let
Did you have
them
any
through?
parlays attached to that, or was it just straight
No,
up?
that was a real
straight up.
That was a real. He ran through that was supposed to be just to set up the field goal, and he had a hole and went right through. That
was one of the most
No, I
heartbreaking
watched it.
bets
I wasn't sure if you had that straight up, if you had it in a parlay.
Yeah.
That was one of the most heartbreaking bets I've ever had.
Oh yeah.
Since I've started
that one.
gambling.
Yeah,
I'm driving 40 minutes away and I don't get it for another 20. Oh my god.
You don't typically see bad beats in big games, like big team games. You see these bad beats in these small like schools that are just they're down by 4 touchdowns and they just toss it, a Hail Mary just to do it in the last second of the game.
Or a kicker misses.
Yeah,
Oklahoma is completely dead to me. And Texas is dead to me for the rest of the year.
So that's why Boone doesn't fall in love with Oklahoma.
No
we know.
No
All right.
Oklahoma was down 28
Cookies.
Yeah.
Cookie, are we like officially Caleb Williams Oklahoma stands now?
Yeah, we're stands.
I hope they start Rattler.
Oklahoma
this week,
podcast. Oklahoma podcast.
I hope they start Rattler this
Coming
weekend.
soon on 2.5 Fans, Oklahoma podcast.
This is officially an Oklahoma podcast. Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I'll
hey,
bet
Caleb
against both of
Williams,
those
if you're
teams the rest of the
listening,
year.
come on the podcast. Yep. We'll send out a tweet. We'll see what you can do. We had fun.
Don't come on our podcast.
Oh yeah.
All right, Boone. Yeah, he'll replace you for that week. We'll see. Go on vacation one week. We'll put Caleb on. College football was fun. We had fun this weekend with college football. I think NFL was fun this weekend. NFL was a great weekend for the NFL. The Lions. All right. I kind of want to get into the Lions real quick because this is another game where we lost. The problem I have with the Lions losing, which there shouldn't be a problem with us losing since it's a rebuild. Okay. But the problem I have is the fans. Okay. Because if you don't see the potential in this team, like right now, they have a raw roster. All right. They don't have many talents. Okay. And we are still like clawing our way back into games constantly. Every game we have been in it. Okay. Up until halftime with Green Bay, we find ways in games, and we're still losing the way we're losing. It should show that we have some potential, and you should be optimistic. I know coming from the Lions, I don't want to hear same old Lions or whatever, but you should be optimistic for the future. So if you're talking shit right now about the Lions and saying they're trash, Dan Campbell's trash, I do not want you guys cheering on the Lions when Dan Campbell is making us contenders in a playoff team. Because if you see the way he's acting and his emotions and the way he cares about winning or losing, then, we will then, if you see that and you don't like articulate fact, then you're an idiot.
Yeah, but I gotta warn you. I gotta warn you on that. I agree with you right now. Now.
Me too.
But in year 3, that's not gonna fly.
Year 3, it's not gonna fly. But
year 2,
year 2, it's gonna fly. We'll lose some games, but you're gonna lose these games now. All right. And Dan Campbell's doesn't go home, and Dan Campbell's not gonna go home. Sit down, drink a beer. Dan Campbell's not gonna do that.
2 games that were very easily win. So I feel bad for the guy.
There's 2 things I have. One,
I feel bad for the guy.
I agree with Cookie. Dan Campbell is fighting for the guys, like him in the post game, all of that.
Yeah.
If you're like saying like, oh, he's not going to be a legit coach, whether it's with Detroit or it's later in his career, he's going to be a legit head coach sometime because of how his
he has
how he can motivate players.
Passion.
He can always get coordinators with him to win games.
Yeah.
But he's a good head coach. 2, what we have been saying since the beginning of the year, since we got Dan Campbell, is this year we don't want to win all of the games.
No.
We want to lose games.
Do you guys
the only
think
thing
that,
we wanted?
Do you guys think that emotion shit matters in the NFL, or does it only matter?
100%.
It should.
100%.
It should
well,
matter.
I heard the one dude from the Woodward Sports say it doesn't. It does. Emotion matters.
It matters. We're human. There's human aspect to the game. There's
it's just like with Sean McVay and the Rams. Like you see your coach hype, you're going to be hyped up.
Yeah. If
you have a coach that's dead, like Urban Meyer on the sideline, you're going to be like, what am I playing for this guy for? That's what a head coach is.
Urban Meyer is a whole different story. But
I'm just saying, like, examples.
I'm saying the Bears have 2 wins. They're what, 2-2 now? 2-3 or whatever. 2-2. There are teams out there that have less emotional coaches and they're winning.
Okay, but they have talent.
The thing is, the Bears have talent. They're winning.
They have talent. They had a Khalil Mack. They would be
3-1.
They have a Khalil Mack. The Bears have a Khalil Mack. They have David Montgomery and a running back who's injured. They have talent. The Lions do not have talent. They have a quarterback who has the smallest hands in the world.
He's so bad.
Baby hands. Jared Goff.
So
bad. I wonder if Jared Goff's girlfriend's hands are bigger than his. Because I love Jared Goff's girlfriend.
Cookie talking about
I love Jared Goff's girlfriend.
Always goes back to the girlfriend.
Dude, she's so hot. But I wonder if her hands are bigger than his. Because he's got tiny ass hands. He leads the league in fumbles.
You just gotta have Jared Goff. You guys are going to have Jared Goff when it matters. So I don't even think
you guys are going to get frustrated.
No,
you guys are going to get frustrated.
I don't even think we need to talk about.
Let me ask you this:
we're not going to have him in 2 years.
No, we're not going to have. Yes.
Oh yeah. Boon's switching on Goff, but we're.
We can go back. Next. I did say we weren't having him. We can ride him out the next 2 years, but.
You mentioned the Rams.
So let me ask you this:
Rams to the Super Bowl, but
let me ask you this: if you got an employee who's just an awesome person. Awesome person. They're good for the environment. They're great for the business itself. They're polite, but they're terrible at their job. How long does it last?
Okay, but he's not terrible at his job. There's a big difference.
Just chill. Just time out.
It doesn't last long.
Just time out for a second. What I'm saying is, we're probably only going to win a couple games this year.
Okay,
maybe 1.
Okay, so the energy stuff. Okay. So going into next year, how many games would you need to see before the emotion shit starts running out?
So 4 or 5.
We need
4 or 5.
No.
Year 3, then that year 3 is when it really kicks in.
So we disagree on that. We disagree. It depends on where we are at the end of the season. If we're a 3-win team,
with our roster next year.
If we're a 3-win team and we have a great draft, Okay. And we go out and have a great, training camp, no injuries. We get people come back. We have a whole 2 years that Dan Campbell can actually be with his staff in these, or a year and a half, let's say. Dan Campbell and the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator can be with their players and the people that actually, let them progress and, develop them some more. And it's a full camp then without any injuries, then I think year two, we should win 3 or 4 more games than we win this year.
I like
So
the
my
guy.
4 or 5 then. Thanks,
I like
Cookie.
it.
No,
Good
you
job,
said
Cookie. Way to
4 or
kill
5.
Boone's take, and it was the exact same.
no,
It's the
you
same way
said
you just
4
said it.
games
He
next.
just took
You
longer to
said
say it. He
you
said
said
it in a
4
more
games
complex
next year.
way.
You want to
Just
win
added
4
a bunch
games.
of words.
You
Just
said
added
you
a
wanted-
bunch
made
of
it sound
words.
smarter.
No, you said you want to win 4 games next year. Did
4
you
to
not?
5 games, and you said we're gonna work. We both
Listen,
agreed that we'll win 1 or 2 this
I-
year. You
I'm
said
No,
you
I
just wanna
said
add 3 or
if we
4.
if we win 3 or
That's
4
the
this game.
The math checks out.
No, if we win 3 games this year, I said
It's
if we win
the-
3 games
what's
and then we win 4 games next year, that's 7
What's that
games.
gif with all the numbers?
Yeah,
Like,
mine.
Back-
Mitch is over there like,
Hey, we're back with
Oh,
it.
what's going on?
Whatever. We're
Listen,
whatever.
hey,
Time
but
out.
this is the thing though, real quick, is like I said, we wanted to lose the game so we get a good draft pick because we know we're not
Mhm.
good this year. The thing is, the only thing we wanted to see this year is them compete and be in games, but we just didn't want to see them win it, right? Like
Yeah.
we want them to be in the games and show that they compete, and that's what we've seen every single game. To the end of the very last minute of the game, we're competing. Sometimes it takes longer for us to really get going,
Yeah.
but when we do
I've-
get a
I've always
roster and Dan
hated-
Campbell gets his guys in there, then that's when it's going to start developing to where he's going.
I've always hated our coach. I've always hated our coach. I hated Pencilhead. I was indifferent about a few of the other ones, but I am totally rooting for Dan Campbell. I am totally
Yeah.
rooting for him. I just want
Yeah.
you guys to know.
Patricia ever really
No,
I hated
passionate
him.
about
I
look
never
at
liked him.
a
Never.
winning coach.
But
that the
this
Lions
is
had.
fatigue. This is gonna fatigue after a while.
Okay, but we're in a rebuild. We're in a rebuilding.
Yeah, but my man was crying after
We gotta-
the 4th game. Of a
I know.
rebuild.
So
Crying.
he's not crying that he lost. He's crying that his team played so hard and it didn't come out the way he wanted. Would you ever see?
loss, man.
Would you ever see? Would you ever see Jim Caldwell, who was a winning coach, who took the Lions to the playoffs? Right?
I don't want to
was
see any coach cry.
okay, but he had no passion. He had nothing. Jim Caldwell had zero passion.
He was
but
a
you had-
winner.
but-
He was
okay,
a winner.
no, but was he really a winner though?
He was
Was
a
he-
winner.
He was
Took
a
us to the
winning.
But we won. Cookie.
Took us to the playoffs.
We won games.
We won. A
us to
winner.
the playoffs
A
and they
winner
fired
coach. A winner coach. All right, is
Cries
somebody.
after the game going 0-4.
No,
cries?
no, you don't have to cry, but you fight for your players, and he's somebody that will fight. And I'll say that he will fight for his players.
We're getting
Jim Caldwell.
too far
Yeah,
back
let's
into
keep
Lions
moving on.
history right now.
Let's
Yeah.
move
I
forward.
don't care
Next-
about Jim
next-
Caldwell.
another loss.
Next, not Lion.
I want to
another
move on
loss.
from Jim
It's all right.
Caldwell.
It's all
I will
right.
say
Another
this.
loss.
I will say this. I know going for it,
Yeah.
going for 2, I would have never had the balls to do it. I give him credit. They had
me
that
credit.
game won again, and if it wasn't for a 66-yard record field goal and another field goal at the end of regulation, the Lions have to figure out some way to get pressure on the quarterback at the end of these games. But they should have 2 wins. I like the guy. I'm rooting for him. Don't
Mhm.
fucking cry after week 4.
That's all right. That's all right. I love to see it. I love to see the passion. And I called that 2-point conversion last week. I said it. Do we go for 2-point to win the game? And you guys said no.
I'm
and I said
still
let's do it.
10 times out of
Crazy
10
call.
times, I'm still kicking the field goal.
Me too.
Yeah.
Crazy
Well,
call.
extra point. Love it.
Because if
Glad it
listen,
happened.
the last
But-
3 weeks he's been so aggressive, and people were like, "Why are you being so aggressive? Why are you being so aggressive?" And now that he went for it, people are like, "Oh, good thing he did that. Good thing." Like, what are we talking about
Well,
here?
hey,
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's the
love
most-
the aggressiveness. and
This is the
that's-
thing
I'm
with Lions
consistent
fans,
on
and this
that.
is why we never have like any upside because
Yeah.
it's like it's a loss no matter what.
Uh-huh.
You go for it, you lose, you
You're
get
not
it,
going to
you don't
blame.
go for
You
it.
can't blame.
It's
You're not
crazy.
going to sit here and blame Lions fans. You 2
I'm not blaming that.
okay?
I'm just saying like
I've been
go
I've
through
been a
it,
Lions
that's
fan
what it-
longer than you guys were born, and it's been miserable my whole life.
Here we are.
Don't start
Oh,
fucking
I'm so
poo-hooing on us.
old.
Okay?
I'm so
We have
old.
legitimately the worst sports franchise in the history of
Yeah,
sports.
and I'm not going to deny it.
And it
I'm not going to
sucks.
deny it. It does suck, but I'm just wanted to send a little plea out to Lions fans. Just give him a chance.
We are.
Don't
I
put
think
too
we
much
are.
pressure. Let's
I
give
don't
him a
think
Make
chance.
Cookie the
Now-
offensive coordinator.
Make me the offensive coordinator, and I think we'll be in good hands, especially if I was the offensive coordinator going into next week. What do you guys think if Lions versus Bengals? Is that another loss? Just quick? Is it quick?
Yes.
Is it loss or win?
Loss.
Loss. Yeah, I think we expect that now for them to
Bengals are good.
lose. But
Bengals
we
are
had, Bengals are a good team, and they went up against a good team this last week. They should have won twice. Packers should have won twice. It was just a crazy game. We're gonna go back to a little what's next for NFL. Some teams. What's next for the Chiefs? They are down bad. I think they are down bad. Jay, what do you think?
I think they're fine. I think they're going to compete for a wild card, and I think they're going to get it.
You
Wait,
think they're
wait,
gonna
wait,
get it?
wait. Breaking news: John Gruden is going to resign.
Bro,
John Gruden is going to resign as the coach.
what?
Says he tells his staff he plans to resign from those emails.
Dude, because I
From the
wanted to
what?
mention from the
From
emails.
the
Did you
emails
not
that
see
he
the
sent a
emails?
couple years ago.
So it was back in 2011,
Wow.
10
They
years
must
ago.
be. They
I
must
wanted,
be bad.
I want to mention this real quick. I'm gonna go back to Dan Campbell. You see Dan Campbell crying for his players, how hard they play, and when they lost. Okay, but you see John Gruden. You hear what's happening before the game. His team heard that before the game, and they came out flat against the Bears. You think that team wants to play for that coach? No, but Dan Campbell can have his team behind him because he's out there showing passion for his players, and those players want to play for him, compared to no one wanting to play for John Gruden.
I think it's
John Gruden, hot seat or
it's a
safe?
touchy subject. I
Scratch
feel like,
that
but
one.
that's insane.
Yeah.
I was gonna get. I would have almost guaranteed that Gruden was safe. He had like a 10-year,
Yeah.
deal.
No.
Yeah,
Hey,
Those emails
hot seat or
must be-
safe? We'll take
Those
that out.
emails must be bad.
bad. They must have been really bad.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Wow.
you reap what you sow. You reap what you
It
sow.
must be really bad. I mean,
Now, quick question. So we don't I don't want to hold us, but who do you see as a Raiders coach now?
Oh, God knows. Who knows?
God
Maybe Jim
knows.
Harbaugh.
That's a
Maybe
big
Jim Harbaugh.
coaching job though. I
Maybe
think
Jim
that
Harbaugh.
that's a good team.
That's a good-
I feel like.
Maybe Jim
I-
Harbaugh.
I think Raiders are
And a
still.
good
I
franchise.
still
Well,
think,
it's the
I
highest
still-
paid. It's the highest paid position right now.
Yeah,
Gruden
I still
is
think-
the highest paid coach.
I still think Raiders are a fraud. We're actually gonna that's part of our next topic. I think Raiders are a fraud,
What,
but
you guys gonna just skip
well,
over the Chiefs?
we're gonna go
Wild
back
card.
over. No, we're gonna go
Oh,
back
I
over
did,
the
yeah.
Chiefs. Boon.
Wild card.
That was a big interruption.
Good
That's a
news.
big
Good
breaking.
news. Good breaking news. Boon
Yeah.
Schefter here. Good
Yeah.
job.
Oh, we
I
got.
saw it. I got the text and I was like, oh my
Good
gosh,
job.
that's crazy.
Let's go. All right, Boon. What do you think about the Chiefs?
Chiefs.
They
I
done?
think I think like Jason said, wild card. I think they actually. I was looking at their schedule last night after that loss. I think they might lose 5 or 6 games. Like, and they're struggling, and
Mhm.
they just don't look like the Chiefs from the last 2 years, and they have a
Mhm.
tough schedule.
Yeah.
So they'll have 11
Wild
wins, but
card.
They're not
game,
going
they'll
to
have
win their
really-
division. They're not going to win their division, but they'll win. I think they'll
This-
compete for a wild card. I think they'll get in, and I think they'll be dangerous.
I
I was
think-
gonna say, and this is a team that can turn the switch on very quick.
Yeah.
So
Line.
I wouldn't be surprised if they only lose 3 or 4 games in the year.
I think, and like I could be crucified for this because I love Patrick Mahomes. I love Tyreek Hill, but I think the Chiefs are the greatest one Super Bowl dynasty in the last however many years. I think that they're not gonna be back again in the Super Bowl this year or the next
Oh.
year. I think
Cookie,
they're
you think they're the best dynasty
no,
of
it
all
was
time?
no, that was a
In
little
the one
sarcasm.
year winner.
One
Oh.
year.
Cookie,
One
you
year.
had me going for a second. I
No,
thought maybe you never
no.
watched the NFL and saw the Patriots play.
I think
So-
I think the Chiefs are done. I think this
So
year
Aaron
is going to
Rod-
be an off year for them.
Aaron Rodgers only won one. Everybody thought he was going to win 5 or 6,
Yeah,
or not
and-
5 or 6. Everybody thought he'd win 2 or 3.
Yeah, but I'm
with
they're
you.
dangerous. He's
Is
dangerous.
Mahomes
But
is Mahomes the new Rodgers?
that's a good point to make. Is Mahomes the new Aaron Rodgers, which I could see because have we seen Aaron Rodgers
Crazy.
win another Super Bowl?
They
No,
were already
I
putting
don't-
Mahomes as the #1 quarterback of all time last year.
No,
after
yeah.
the
See, that's
Super
the
Bowl.
hype. You have to hold up to that.
Dude,
I think they have some work to do. And
I
I
didn't
think
think
that
he
we'll see them
was.
back in the Super Bowl, just not this year or next year. What about the Bills? Bills are looking good. Boone, what do you think?
They're legit. They're gonna be. The next 5 or 6 games they have to are easy games. They'll be
Yeah.
like 8 or 9-1. I think they're the team to beat right now.
Yeah. Jay.
I think they're going to be first place in the AFC. They'll get home field advantage.
Yeah. And if Bills have home field advantage, I agree. Again, another agreeing. 3 of us on 2.5 fans. If Bills have home field advantage, they are making it into the Super Bowl. I don't think there's a team in the AFC that'll stop them at home with the way they're playing right now. We had Rams versus Seahawks on a Thursday night, which was a good Thursday night game compared to what we've had this season. What's next for the Seahawks, especially after Russ getting injured?
They'll lose. They're going to get their ass kicked in that division.
Yeah, that division's too
Geno
hard.
Smith's not going to win the division. They
Now,
have pieces around him, but
and they don't have the defense like they used to. The Seahawks are done.
Jay,
I agree.
What if the Seahawks went out and grabbed Cam?
No.
That's a player that can play in that type of offense.
He can't throw the ball.
Still not going to be
receivers that he needs to throw the ball downfield to.
They're still not going to be.
The ball.
So let's just say So do you think they're going to win their division?
No.
Do you think they're going to be a wild?
He could throw the ball.
Hold on,
but he's just more of a short pass guy.
With Geno Smith,
one second. Do you think they're going to win their division?
No.
Nope.
You think they're going to be a wild card?
Nope.
Okay. Not without a new quarterback.
Let's move on.
If he's out 6 weeks, it's over.
I just don't think
too hard of a division.
Cookie, Cam's a short pass guy. They have downfield threats.
Tyler Lockett.
They have DK Metcalf. They have Tyler Lockett. These guys are downfield. These guys are quick. These guys need to get downfield and make plays. I don't think Cam can just.
They don't have the defense. They don't have the defense either. They got to beat the Rams. They got to beat the
Cardinals, 49ers.
And that's not going to happen.
You don't think it is?
No
chance. All right, I'll take that.
They don't make the playoffs.
They don't this year. This year we will not see the Seahawks in the playoffs, especially with Russ being
Sadly.
out. But the Rams went in there even before Russ got hurt. The Rams took care of business. I think the score didn't really correlate to how the game played. I thought the Rams played a great game. Defensively, they stopped them. What do you guys think? What's next? Do you think they're still rolling? They lost one. They came back. They won a big game.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
That was a bounce back week. Like Stafford and the team, they're a new team. They had one bad week, but they're back to where they were.
Back.
They're a great football team.
Rams win their division. They'll beat the Cardinals to win their division.
Yep.
All right.
Jason, we're agreeing a lot tonight, and I love it.
I like it.
Hey, Boon, you agree on that Cardinals?
Good football.
You agree on that Cardinals, Rams winning the division, beating out the Cardinals?
Cardinals will be a wild 100%.
Card team.
Yeah. They play one more time. They'll beat them.
Yeah. Cardinals are a wild card team at best.
At best. Okay, so I disagree on that.
Yeah,
I
have to disagree.
I think they are Rams will win their division, but I disagree on Cardinals being like a wild card team at best, because I think the Cardinals are a real contender. They look good. They look hot.
If they don't win their division, do they all have to get a wild card game?
Yeah,
because they extended the playoffs this year to like 7 teams or something. They switched it.
You still
so
have
is it just 2 wild cards now?
So you got 4.
Yeah, okay, then I agree. Cardinals
4
will be
divisions,
a
2 wild cards. Yeah. Is there a 3rd wild card added this year?
I don't know. I know they switched it this year, so that's
4
why I'm
divisions
asking.
and 2 wild cards. So
that was last year. I don't know if they switched that, but regardless, with 2 wild cards or 3 wild cards,
Cardinals get in. They're
Cardinals
really
would be the most dangerous NFC wild card there is, and Cardinals can beat any team right now. Cardinals can beat any team.
I think they're gonna be a wild card.
Okay. Yeah, wild card, but they're dangerous. They play both sides of the ball. They're good.
Yeah.
Other side of other conference, Chargers. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll let you guys go first on this one. I had it.
Yeah, Chargers are going to win that division, but they're not going to have home field advantage over the Bills.
Oh no! The Bills will have they'll have the bye. The Bills are.
So the Chargers will be the 2 or 3 seed in the AFC to me.
I think the Chargers, depending on how it gets set up, the Chargers and the Bills in the AFC Championship. I'm taking I'm getting away from the Chiefs. I said it last week. The Chargers are legit. I love Justin Herbert.
Imagine
he's so good, and he has weapons.
Austin Eckler's awesome too.
Mike Williams.
Awesome. Mike Williams. That's my number 1 wide receiver right now.
Yeah, they're legit, man.
I have them as my number 2 seed.
And AFC
ahead of them.
Yeah. So imagine.
Let's go, Jay.
Yeah, no, I agree with the Chargers.
Tonight.
I agree with the Chargers too. That's 3 things that 2.5 fans everyone agrees on. But imagine that AFC Championship game with Chargers and the Bills, the same game parlays. Can you imagine how much money there is to be made? Oh my God.
It's gonna be different when the snow though.
It's gonna be different in the snow, but hey, we'll see.
I can't wait.
We will see because there's a lot of things that could happen in the season. We're still a little early for that. But we know now John Gruden is resigning for the Raiders. What's next for the Raiders? They didn't look good. So do you think they come back out with chip on the shoulder?
They don't make the
rest
playoffs.
of the season? They don't make the playoffs.
They don't make the playoffs. Too hard.
I think if everything was fine, they would. I think they actually have a good team. Like they have players that I like Derek Carr. They have weapons, but now all this stuff going on. I mean, it'll be tough.
I agree with Jay. They don't make the playoffs, and I've said that from week one, and I'll still say it every week when they win. I still say the same thing. I think the Raiders are a fraud. I don't think anything of that. Honestly, the Bucs are just looking. They looked a little stoppable against New England, but this week they did look like they can't be stopped, and their
Bucs are so good.
They're just going to keep going. What do you?
And their
Jay?
defense is going to get back to where they were. And
I think they will be. I do not think that they're going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. However, I do think that they will be a 1 or a 2 seed.
Okay. Boom.
Yep, I'm with you on that. I know I'm same thing. I think it's just them and the Rams in the NFC right now.
No, I disagree. I think there's one more team.
There's one more team, I think, in the NFC that is dangerous.
Yep. They are dangerous.
And I know they are very dangerous. I think the Cowboys are very, very dangerous. Jay, what's your thoughts on the Cowboys?
Their only losses to the Bucs, and it was like a close 2.3 point finish at the end. I think right now, I think they have the best chance to get the home field advantage because the Giants just lost maybe their whole team. The NFC East is the most so the Cowboys are going to have the easiest path to home field advantage. I think that they can beat the Bucs, and I think that they can beat the Rams. And I don't think the Rams home field advantage is going to matter if they get it. I don't think the Rams home field advantage or the Bucs home field advantage will matter if they get it or the Cowboys. I don't think it'll matter. Those three teams are all decent weather or an indoor place. So it's not like going to Buffalo. But I love Dallas right now.
But playing in Dallas is that environment is a hard environment. So
it's not gonna change the way you throw a football compared to Justin Herbert having to go to Buffalo.
Yes, you're right. This beginning of the season, I thought Cowboys were a fraud, and I'll take back my words. I love Dak Prescott. But I just think that they always find a way to lose or find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. Maybe it's times have changed, and I hope it has. Because that's America's team, right? That's
so you guys want to go back to the wild card talk, okay? So NFC East is going to be Cowboys. Yeah. NFC North is going to be the Packers.
Yeah.
NFC West we think is going to be the Rams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And who did I miss? NFC South is going to be the Bucs. So that's the first 4 in. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now who comes in next? That's where I see Arizona.
Yeah. I agree.
So I see Arizona for sure.
49ers.
I don't think the 49ers.
They'll be a good team. Team.
They're
wild card.
I mean, if you really look at all these NFC teams, there's not really a lot of maybe the Saints, depending on how they turn out.
No, you know who I think it could be? The Eagles.
I was about to say.
I don't think so.
I think
the Eagles are good enough.
I think the Eagles can do it.
Jalen Hurts might be a better starting quarterback than people think. However, I think it's those 4, and then I think the Cardinals are going to come in right at 5.
Yeah,
and then the Bears could sneakily be a wild card.
That was what I was going to say.
The Bears could sneak in. You know who else can sneak in? Washington.
No.
I don't know why I like Washington so much. They have such a great defense. All right. I like their quarterback.
I figured Cookie out. Cookie's all emotion. You like that Ron Rivera guy too.
Yeah, and I like Ron Rivera
with emotion.
Yeah, I like that. I'm an emotional.
He gets blinded by the truth.
I'm an emotional guy, guys. Come on.
The same. We're leaving out a really good football. We're leaving out a good football team.
Who?
We're leaving out a really good football team. The Panthers.
Okay, no,
I don't think they're a good
they're
football
not
team.
a good football team.
For a wild card.
They're
Like,
not
really.
good.
If you guys
I
had
think-
look up the standings right now, like the wild card isn't going to be like there's only going to be a couple teams in it,
There's only going to be if the
especially
49ers
with
the wild
Russell Wilson
card-
getting
How the
hurt.
wild card is.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, though. Like it's going to be like right now, the Bears,
Guy bro-
Panthers,
guy
Saints.
broke
Okay, so yeah, the
Guy
wild
broke
card
his
is not going to be a lot of
big
teams
man
in it. Yeah, only 2. Only
I
2
think
that's
three-
in it.
It will work itself out. There will
I
be
think they have
awesome.
3. I think they have
No.
3 in it this year.
It'll work itself out. I would have said the Giants would have been a competitor, but it looks like they're injuries.
No, the Giants are not a competitor.
Yeah,
I don't like the Panthers right now because
I don't like-
gets hurt. What's his name gets hurt all the time? Christian
But
McCaffrey.
they got what's his name? Chuba.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba.
I think it's Chuba.
Chuba?
Chuba.
I don't Chuba. Oh, what's his name?
All right, well, so-
Hubbard.
Chuba
So
Hubbard.
who's
yeah.
your who else? Who's your next team? Because I think that covers everybody, right?
No?
Yeah, I think. Oh, one last
Got
thing.
more?
Talk to me, Cookie.
Steelers.
I didn't get that. What are you guys talking about?
Okay, Boone said at any moment in the season, the Steelers can get hot if they
And go
figure
on a
things
streak.
out, and they could go on a streak because of what they did last year. Now, do
And-
you think that they are streaking? Do you think
Can
they're going
I-
to start this streak?
Somebody.
Can
got
I
hurt
make my
today,
point and back it up from last week real quick?
Yeah,
They just won a big football game, right?
yeah.
They don't have a tough schedule going forward right now. They play the Seahawks
Uh-huh.
without Russell Wilson. They play
Yeah.
the Browns, which that's going to be a close game, easily winnable.
So
Let me-
hard.
let me
It's
get
easily winnable.
that it's a division game. Those are up in the air. The Browns, they play the Bears, they play us, the Lions. They play the Chargers, that's a loss. They play the Bengals and the Ravens and the Vikings. Those are
Mhm.
winnable games, besides maybe the Chargers and Ravens.
And
They have
I-
arguably the hardest. division
hardest,
in football.
yeah.
But those are all
Arguably.
winnable games for them. It's not they don't
What do you
have
mean by they're all winnable? Every
hardest
game's
division.
a winnable game the way you just explained it.
Do you think
They
do
have
you think-
arguably the hardest schedule.
Yeah, do you think
No, they
that
don't. They
do you
do
think
not.
do you think the Steelers can keep up with the Browns the way the Chargers can keep up with the Browns? Now you think that they could beat the Browns when the Browns are clicking like that? The Browns
Yes,
went
I
down.
think they can beat the Browns. We can put a bet on it when they play the Browns. We can make a side bet here.
I'll love to make that side.
I don't think
bet
the Browns are
because-
that good.
bro.
I think that they're. I think I'm looking at their schedule right now.
I think they will win. They will make a wild. They'll have a chance for a wild card game. They'll have to win a couple big games down the
Why
stretch.
can't they win their division?
They could. I'm not putting them out. But I remember last week everyone was like, "They're done. They're out. They're out." And I'm like, "No, this is a team that could easily go on and win 6 or 7 out of 8 and go on a big streak, just like they went on an 11-game win streak last year."
That 11-game win streak, I think, was the biggest fraud win streak of. Like,
Yeah, the
there's no
Browns.
fr-
the Browns.
come
The
on.
Browns should be. The Browns should be 4-1.
the Browns should be
I
4
just don't think they should be. I don't think they're a good football
the
team to
Brown-
where
the
they're going to
Browns-
sit here
well,
and
they're
win all
full
these
anyways,
games.
They're 3-2.
Baker's not good.
Well, I don't really know what you're arguing. You're saying the Steelers could make a run. Is that what
Yeah,
your
yeah.
prediction is?
You don't remember this last week?
You don't
No, I
remember
do,
this?
but I do, but
This
it's
was a
like
big, big point.
This
it's
was
such a
huge.
to me, it's such a non-factor because I don't think that the Steelers are a good enough football team to
I
make an
don't-
impact on the season.
I don't think so. Even the fact of
Are
they're
they gonna
clicking
beat
in all
Buffalo?
silver.
Are they
No,
gonna
no,
beat
no, but
Buffalo?
no. That's not my
Are they
point.
going to
is that
beat the
they're gonna-
Chargers?
No, I think you're thinking. No, this is what last week we were talking about.
No,
You
I
guys
get
were
what you're
telling me they
saying.
weren't
I
going
get
to
what
win
you- I
any
remember what you were
games.
talking about. I remember you saying it.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to
think-
be a contender, but I think they'll make the playoffs or have
I
a
don't
shot
think-
to that.
I
Down
mean,
the stretch.
they did beat Buffalo. I mean, so
If you make the playoffs, you're a contender. That's the one thing I hate when people say if you're in the playoffs, you're technically a contender.
absolutely. So
Disagree.
watch out if
Yeah,
Kansas
I
City makes
disagree.
it as a wild
Yeah.
card. or
Okay,
something like that.
And you also have to think,
I'm not
Kansas
worried about
City's-
Pittsburgh. I'm not worried about Pittsburgh if they're a wild card.
no,
Was the football
No.
team a contender last year when they made the playoffs?
I think Washington I think they took it down. I think that was a close game, was it not?
And I'm pretty sure the Giants won from the wild card twice. Let me think of some other ones. The
I'm
wild
pre-
card is dangerous, bro. The wild card's dangerous, man. The wild
Yeah.
No,
card's
yeah, I
dangerous.
do. I just don't think every wild card team is like the NFC East last year was so bad.
Well, that doesn't mean a wild card. That means that their division winner got it. So
Yeah.
and they were bad. They
the
weren't a
NFC
contender,
East is garbage. The NFC East.
but they weren't a contender though.
No. But I do think that Cookie's right. If you make the wild card, especially when you think about it, let's say in the AFC, right? You go Bills, Ravens, Chargers. Give me who I'm missing. What's in the Titans division? Who's going to win that one?
I think wait, that's the Titans are with Titans are
the
an
Titans
AFC
probably
South.
will win that.
They might if
Yeah, because it's Titans, Colts.
Texans,
so
Jags.
it's, yeah, it's
Yeah.
I mean, they're
yeah.
So
Out of
no
the
wild,
Titans,
no wild card
one.
coming from that division.
No,
So you'll
no.
have Titans,
Titans are winning that.
Bills,
Uh-huh.
Ravens, and Chargers. Those 4 are in.
Uh-huh.
And you're gonna look for the 5th and 6th team.
Which are going to be the Bengals and Browns.
I think you're just giving too much.
Chiefs
I
are
think you're
out.
just giving too much credit to the. You're giving too much credit
Or
to
Browns
the
and Chiefs. Browns and
Too
Chiefs.
much credit to the Ravens. They're going to be 4-1 after tonight.
I mean, you have 3 teams in that division with 3 wins already.
Yeah, but the Ravens have big wins so far.
Yeah, I mean, big wins means nothing. Though. I mean,
No, they mean nothing.
not like strength of schedule.
Oh, but they
Yeah,
beat
I know
the
what you're
Chiefs
saying. I know what
and
you're. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But I'm
And-
just saying, like, they're not gonna look at be like, all right, who are we gonna pick for the division winner? Who had the hardest strength?
You
of
don't pick
schedule? Like,
division winners. You don't pick.
That's what
division
I'm saying. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. The big
And-
wins don't matter. It just
and
matters
just-
how many wins you have at the end of the year. So I
and
mean, I think
let's-
the Bengals could easily like the Steelers could either they're at 2 wins. Like
It's gonna be. I think on the AFC for the wild card is gonna go like the wild card on AFC NFC is gonna go down. I just want to say about the Washington football team. You said that just because they made the playoffs last year, did that make them a contender? They lost. It was a 1-possession game. They lost against
the
Super Bowl champs.
I know.
So
I know,
that-
but they weren't a
that-
contender though.
But okay, if
They had one good game, they lose. Like they weren't going to go on to win the Super Bowl.
playoffs, everything crazy happens.
That
What?
division was so bad.
So crazy. Football could be crazy. All right.
So crazy.
We saw some crazy stuff happen today. John Gruden getting fired. He was in my hot seat or not. Urban Meyer. Do you think he's in the hot seat right now at Jacksonville?
I mean, the fucking
I
guy's
think-
born on the hot seat.
I think he's safe though right now.
You think
I
he's
think-
safe?
I think
Fuck
it was
no.
hot right at first, but I think now it's going to pass over.
No,
I
he's
mean,
out.
if they
He's,
keep losing, obviously at the end of the year he's going to be gone. But I think right now it's not like we're going to fire you mid-season.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think? You think he's out?
Oh, I think he's out.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
when.
agree on that.
I don't know when.
I don't know when it's going to happen in the next coming weeks. I think if they lose 2 more games, I think they're going to fire him or he's going to resign. Especially if, a big college football job comes open.
I don't think he'll coach again.
We'll see.
He will 100% coach again.
That guy's pride's
He
too
will
high.
not let this. His ego's so high. He will not let
No.
this be his last thing.
Yeah. What about Joe Judge? What do you think about Joe Judge? You think
Fine.
hot seat or not?
Yeah, safe.
Too many injuries.
I think injuries play a role in that, but I think Joe Judge should be on the hot seat.
Why?
I don't think their team is. I think they have a good roster and they have good players on defense, but they just haven't executed well, even in the games that they haven't been injured. So the one game they won one game right now so far, correct? So
They're better than the Lions.
Yeah, I don't think he should.
I think
I
if they
he's
go head to
safe.
head,
How can you put this guy on the hot seat? And
Maybe-
not Dan Campbell.
I'd say maybe right. I want to put Dan Campbell. It's just so fresh.
Same
but-
thing. Same thing.
Yeah, but I don't think. Yeah,
Smith-Schuster. Juju
I'm with-
Smith-Schuster out for the
up
season.
for the season. Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah. I don't think Joe Judge is in trouble.
Not
though.
even close. I
Like,
think
he has
he's fine.
injuries, and if they don't have injuries, and
He's
they're
a person
full,
people love too. He's a
they win
football
some
guy.
games.
They love him over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No, he's fine.
and I think it's the same thing with Dan Campbell. I don't even I don't even
Yeah,
think
it's
it
not
should
even worth
be in the
talking
question
about.
for a year or two until we see in about a year or two. What
I
he
think
is.
the
So-
question should be: is golf on the hot seat? And the answer is yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, am
We don't
I
really have
right
to
or
talk about
wrong?
John Gruden anymore.
No, Gruden's
that
on
one
the
out.
fucking hot. See ya. He's hot.
Hey, is John Gruden safe or is he on the hot seat?
No, he's
Yes.
gone. That
Gone.
guy was on. Yeah, that guy's gone. And good riddance if that's the case. The Joe Judge has last season. It was his first season, correct, with the Giants, and they went 6-10. This year, if they finish less than that, how is he not on the hot seat if the way they're playing?
Because
now?
he went 6-10 without Saquon Barkley last year, and now Saquon Barkley's out for the season again, I think, or out for.
Wasn't
his-
Daniel
his
his
Jones
quarterback
was he a
just got
rookie
hurt
last year?
yesterday?
Yeah, wasn't he a
lineman got
rookie
hurt.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a rookie. He
Way
he
too
took a
early
rookie
on Judge.
quarterback to a
Way
rookie
too early on
quarterback who
Judge,
won
my
6
opinion.
games, almost won a division.
New York
Yeah,
is
way too
different
early.
than New York is different than Detroit. New York, I think New York is a hard place to coach, and they have high expectations for the coaches.
No, New York, I think makes it easy.
I don't know. I think their fans are a little more crazy.
I'm looking at it right now. I don't think there's a single coach on the hot seat in the whole league.
And the NFL,
Urban
I
Meyer.
think it's but
Besides for Urban Meyer.
that's a bit of different.
And John
reasons here,
Gruden,
you could say.
before he got fired, should have been on the hot seat.
I don't know if he should have been or not. He was 3-2 going into the week.
Regardless, with a scandal like that, with a scandal like that. Anything else from the NFL?
No.
I do want to talk about non-NFL, some boxing over the weekend, because Jason, you always talk about back in my day kind of thing. This in your life, in my life, and in Boon's life, this might goes down as the greatest trilogy boxing like we have ever seen.
You're nuts, dude. Shut the fuck up. That's
How old are you?
I've ever heard.
How old are you?
Dude, do you realize what was
I don't know
happening
how old you
Before
are.
I was born, you heard of guys like
In your life, I'm saying in your life, my life, in Boone's life. This is
and our lifetimes, boxing has sucked.
okay, but this
But
is going to go down.
Prior to us, there used to be things like Ali Frazier, where the whole world was watching. The whole world, not just the select boxing community. Okay, there's no way. I heard great things about this fight. I heard great things about
The
it.
trilogy itself.
The trilogy itself. Do you know how many trilogies there were in the 70s, the 80s, the 60s? Where the
Be born.
I think
literally the whole world
yeah,
was watching.
I know that, but
Yeah.
you did not hear what I just said.
In
I
our
said
lifetime?
in our lifetime. I said, Jay, in your lifetime, Boone, in your lifetime, and in my lifetime, this will go down as the greatest trilogy. And this might be the greatest boxing, like big time boxing match ever. This like in our
when
life.
you say ever,
in our lives, in our lifetime.
Just be careful, yeah.
Dude, because that fight was wild. That fight was back and
The fight
forth.
was wild.
That fight, it could have gone any way. I thought Wilder didn't do.
I don't think it could have gone either way, to be honest. If you watched it, I don't think it could have.
Dude, you can't.
Wilder after the first round was gassed.
Okay, no, I would say after the third round. And
all right, even then,
if
it's
you-
a
did you see
12
the
round.
score? Did you see
This is
I
not
know.
UFC. It's 12 rounds.
I know, I
If you're
understand
done
that.
after the
but-
third, it's not a fight.
But he did, while he was gassed, drop Fury twice.
Did he drop him twice?
He twice in one round and kept on popping him.
And what did
Wilder was
Fury
back.
do?
And he knocked him out. But
Wilder had no.
they
chance
went
in that
back
fight
and
from the
forth.
jump.
They went back and
No.
forth. Even in the 10th.
Come
in the
on,
10th
Cookie.
round.
Cookie, come on.
Did
come
you watch
on.
the fight?
I watched the whole fight, start to
Okay.
finish.
In the 10th round, okay,
I did not have one doubt Fury was
in
gonna
the 10th
lose.
round, Fury had Wilder back against the ropes, and Wilder slipped out of
Jeez.
it. Listen, Wilder slipped out of it, popped Fury, and then could have dropped and almost dropped Fury, and then he got saved by the bell. And then 11th round came back out,
No.
and yeah, I think
Cookie,
I think
I
that fight
might
could've
lose
gone-
my you might lose your boxing stripes to me after.
no.
Cookie,
Talk
were
to
you looking at
anybody.
the punches landed on even on the
Punch-
screen when there was he doubled them. No matter what that means, he doubled them.
I know. Okay, you can land a punch and you can land a punch.
He
in the
dropped
arm.
him multiple times,
He
and then
dropped
he
him-
knocked him out out cold.
He dropped him. Yeah. Okay, and I agree, but that fight could have gone either way.
Fury wasn't even phased tired. Like he went to the
So-
club after with
Okay, he
Steve
was.
Aoki, and he was just out there fist pumping
Okay,
until
so does
5 in the morning. And then
okay,
he woke up at
that-
10 a.m. and went to a pool party with Aoki
Dude,
again.
I've seen
This
I've,
dude
did not.
I've seen
It
McGregor
was
get
not
knocked.
a fight, dude.
Big
I've
fight
seen-
Boone.
I've seen McGregor get knocked
The first
fuck
fight was a
out.
tie.
I've seen him
second
get
fight, he
knocked the
knocked him
fuck
out.
out
The
and
third
go
fight,
to
he
the
knocked
club
him
and drink his life away.
Come
No,
on,
dude, that
bro.
doesn't mean anything. I think
Come on.
I think
All right. I just want to make a comment to Jason. Jason, I don't really know like boxing a ton with like the old fighters and stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing that impresses me with this though, and I'm with you here on Cookie, is the records of these guys and how like Deontay Wilder, how big, like how hyped, like he was like the best in the world. Like people were like starting to say, is Wilder the greatest heavyweight of all time?
No, they
And
were
then
not.
they were,
no,
No,
like
they
a year
never
or
did.
two ago, I was here.
No, they never did.
The only reason, look at his record was like 45 and
Do you
0 or
know-
something.
He
do you
fought
ever-
bums.
have you
He
ever-
fought bums. He fought bums.
I'm
No,
just
but
saying what I was reading
have you
online.
ever heard
and then
of
to
a-
see the trilogy, I'm with you, Cookie, to see the trilogy go down the way it did, that makes it like you have a 31 and 0 guy, you have
Yeah.
a
I feel bad
45
for you
and 0
guys
guy,
because you never
and
got
then
a
they
chance
fight
to
3
see like
times.
you guys never
That's what
got
I'm
a
saying.
chance.
I've never
to
seen
see
those,
Yeah.
but in my
the
time,
hype.
this was crazy. This
Yeah,
was like,
and I know, and Jay, I know
Just
all. I know
any-
the greatest of great boxing. I'm a big boxing fan. Me and my
No,
friends.
Be careful anytime you hear somebody say the
Cookie,
words
that makes
greatest with
makes me
boxing right
nervous,
now.
though.
I'm looking at it right now. There is a documentary about Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward that is incredible about the trilogy. You guys got to watch that. And then obviously it was Ali Frazier.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, I think
Cookie Boon, when you talk about
They-
boxing, and Cookie, when you talk about boxing, I don't know if you guys had a chance. You're probably way too young, but the hype around Mike Tyson till this day, there's never been one human being, maybe Tiger Woods, that commanded more. That was like, I remember everybody in my family came over for a Tyson fight. I'm talking 70 people were at my parents' house. We put the TV on the deck. I was a little kid, and all my dad and my uncles talked about for 2 weeks was this party, what the food was going to be. It was the biggest thing. Mike Tyson was the biggest thing out there. But this is getting a lot of good reviews. I'm not lying. I'm reading around it right now.
look at Cookie. What were you going to say about the stats of the fight? Because I'm looking at them right now, and it was not close. Jabs, power punches, total punches. It was doubled and tripled.
But
The power punches and landing.
the damage that was like,
He was
you have
bleeding
never-
out of both ears.
I
his
know
lips
so,
and nose.
So Wilder
Fury was,
is like
smiling.
Wilder is like, if you have watched when I say Wilder has fought bums, he has fought bums and he has taken damage like that. Okay, Wilder takes damage. He gets hit a lot. Okay, but Wilder at one point I think the fight before the first Fury fight, I forgot who he fought, but he should have lost. It was in the 10th or 11th round, and Wilder should have been knocked out. Like, he was damaged galore, and just one punch knocked the guy out. Okay, he won off a knockout. In boxing, it could go either way, and the fact that you dropped the guy twice and you were still landing shots while getting hit like that fight could have gone either way. Also,
I'm looking right now.
Tyson,
They're actually talking about Fury being one of the better heavyweights of all time.
That's what I keep
Fury-
seeing all
More
the
than-
articles.
no
more
Fury,
than Wilder. More
But
than
before,
Wilder.
like,
I'm looking
so
at an
Fury is the
updated
lineal.
list. I'm looking at an updated list that came out a month ago, and he's not in the top 10, but that's not to say that he's not a good boxer. Not being
Yeah.
a top 10
Yeah.
heavyweight of all time. You guys just, even me, I'm not going to sit here and say I got a chance to see great boxing, because boxing was before me too, especially heavyweight boxing.
Yeah,
I was lucky to see Floyd Mayweather in their
Mhm.
run, Manny
Yeah.
Pacquiao in their run, but heavyweights, true heavyweights, the prize fighter, that's one of the greatest moments in sports is the
Yeah.
prize fighter. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just like the heavyweight. There's not heavyweights like there used to be.
no. And
You know, it's just too difficult. But
honestly, Fury
this fight
winning,
got a lot of love.
Yeah,
I think
and
they're supposed to have
crazy fight.
900,000.
So
plus
Fury.
fans.
So if you guys don't know, Fury is the lineal champ for boxing. He's the undisputed lineal champ. Him winning this again will create like a lock in boxing, and you won't see many heavyweights coming out again like for the next year or two. It's going to kind of be jammed. You won't see Fury fighting for anyone else for the next.
I think there needs
2
to be a
years.
resurgence of it, and I hope
Yeah.
that this brings more. I really do, because I love boxing,
Yeah.
man. I'm
That's,
telling you,
yeah, I like
back in the
boxing.
day-
I don't
yeah.
really watch it. That was
Back
fun.
in the day when Mike Tyson used to come out, bro, and he used to come out with them all black trunks, bro, and he used to just come out like no show, no performance. You know, now they're coming out with like, looks like a concert when they come out.
Yeah.
This dude used to come out to DMX, and it was just like the hardest shit of all time. And everybody in the world, like they're like, like when you're taking bets on fights,
Mhm.
I can't imagine what the Vegas odds were back in the day with Tyson fights. Like minus money, first round knockout.
Minus 2,000 first
Yeah,
round.
minus
knockout.
first 2,000 for a first round knockout. I hope boxing blows up.
hope
My
it-
grandpa,
yeah.
my
I like
grandpa, God
boxing.
bless
It's
his
fun to
soul.
watch.
He was a huge boxing guy, and that was the reason why I kind of got into boxing younger. But boxing's before my day too, bro. My dad's got pictures
Yeah.
with Sugar Ray in Vegas in the 70s and 80s and shit at clubs in Vegas. I mean, like they were the kings,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, they
Cookie.
were. Mike Tyson was
Cookie.
in Detroit signing autographs on Saturday too. At
Yeah,
DC
my boys
Sports.
went. My
I
boys
wish I
went.
would've-
Cookie,
What?
I would never take your fighting stripes. You
better
always
not
have your.
take my
I got a
fighting
question for you
stripes.
guys. I got a question for you guys.
You take other stripes if you want.
Top 3 people you'd want to meet. Tyson's on my list. As the
Oh,
top
yeah.
3. So it's Tyson. I was between like Brady or something like that, and then like some mastermind criminal. But for sure, 100%.
Are gonna be dead or alive?
Could be dead or alive. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Kobe.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
That'd be
one.
my number one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Kobe.
yeah. My
Kobe.
number one without hesitation is Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. I want to ask him. Like one day, I want to ask him just to say the speech about Lennox Lewis, like the Lennox Lewis speech. I just
Dude.
want to hear him say, "I'm the best ever." You know,
Yeah,
I'm the most brutal, most vicious, ruthless champion there's ever been.
Who
Mike
are your
Tyson-
guys' 3?
I think it would be like Mike Tyson. It would be some sort of like super world mastermind criminal. And then I didn't think about dead. So like if somebody who died, I would want to go back and meet like a famous president or something, maybe something like that. But or
I
like a
wanna
famous musician or something.
Mike Tyson's in my top 3. I would go Kobe. Before it was Stevie Y. I met Stevie Y. He's like my idol. I don't know why. He was just one of my idols growing up.
Stevie
And
who?
then Steve Weisman. Steven
Eisman.
Eisman. Yeah.
Eisman,
Stevie
okay.
Y. And then
I was confused for a sec.
you know
Yeah,
who
me too.
you know who I do want to talk to, just like trying to just see what kind of human being he was Genghis Khan. Like Genghis Khan was like a ruthless human being, like a conqueror of the world. And I want to know what
a fucking weird answer.
you said. Criminal mastermind.
Like,
You have a
what?
criminal mastermind.
Weird
Genghis
answer.
Khan was
Yeah,
a weird.
I'd want to meet like Jordan Belfort, not like fucking Genghis
That's-
Khan.
He's still
Okay.
alive. You still could. We could probably
Yeah,
make that happen
Jordan
if you really
Bel-
want.
Yeah, that guy was a fraud.
He's
He
a
wasn't
TikTok
like
star
a
now.
criminal mastermind.
Yeah.
This Genghis Khan was
El
like
Chapo. I'm talking about El Chapo or like Pablo Escobar.
No, I want to know
Pablo
I
Escobar.
want to know what
You
went on through his head when he went through the whole world. That guy, his bloodline is like, I think most people in Asia have Genghis
That was
Khan
the weirdest
blood.
answer. I'm just gonna throw that
Yeah,
was just
dude, you
weird.
fucked
You're
us
that
up.
cookie.
Okay, first off, I'm
Jason.
a big historian. All right, that's a little something you don't know about me. I love history.
Who was the 24th president of the United States?
Okay, not like that, but I love military
History.
kind of
Who was
conflict.
who was the president before Bill Clinton?
Who's the Army's general right now? All right,
the Army's general right now?
no, I have a question for you. I
Jason,
have a
I'm
question for
sure.
Who was the president before Bill Clinton?
That was the first George Bush.
Good, all right, good.
And who was the president? Wait, who was the president before the first George Bush?
Reagan.
Was it
Yeah, back to back. Reagan, Bush, Clinton,
before?
Bush,
Okay,
Bush,
before
Obama, Trump.
Who's before Reagan?
Jimmy Carter.
Before Reagan.
Jimmy Carter.
I
Jimmy Carter.
watched him speak before.
one.
Crazy.
Good one.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
Iran
Jason, you can
hostage.
guess who you can. I'm sure you can guess my top 3. Jason, number 1.
Dave Portnoy.
You, Dave.
Jersey
Hey,
Jerry.
listen. This is the
Jersey
list.
Jerry.
Kobe, Tom Brady, Portnoy. What a list. And then 4th, Jersey Jerry.
Jersey Jerry.
Jersey
yeah.
Jerry.
We need to meet the general.
Hey, let's get Jersey Jerry on here. Hey, Jersey Jerry, if you're
We
hearing
need the general on
this,
board.
if you're listening, Boon wants to meet you, and he's a big fanboy.
No, I was
I'm
only
not a
thinking.
fanboy.
I was
I'm
only
a- what
thinking
is
about
it?
this.
I'm an army.
A Stan. You're
No,
a
I'm
Jersey
in his
Jerry
army.
You're a lieutenant.
Yes.
You're a Jersey.
I'm a lieutenant. I'm not a fanboy.
The reason
You're
I
a
was thinking
lieutenant.
about this was because my buddy met Tyson over the weekend, so I was jealous.
Yeah, that's
Um,
amazing.
Yeah.
actually.
Mike Tyson, when he was 20 years old or whatever, champion of the world, was worth $400 million at a time when $400 million now it's like the equivalent of $1 billion.
Yeah.
So, like, all these athletes who talk shit about how much money they make, Mike Tyson was the original G. That dude, there's videos of him playing with white tigers on his tennis court,
Uh-huh.
and he's fucking fighting with the white tigers, like play fighting with them. Like, that guy was a legend. He was the Yeah.
Dude, and the fact that he
mean,
lost it
he's-
all.
boom. Well, he
And
didn't lose
he-
it all. They stole it from him. They stole it from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
They stole it from him. They robbed him blind. I mean, don't get me wrong. That
He's
guy's
fat.
story is incredible. He used to
Yeah.
he was taking care of himself at like 12 years old.
He's the like his character, like if that was a movie, he would be the all-time favorite character in
Of all
any
time.
movie. Got a couple more things over time. I mean, MLB, NBA. You guys want to talk about that?
Baseball playoffs right now.
Yeah, I can't really talk on baseball. I'm not, if it's not the Tigers involved, I don't really want to
Oh,
talk
okay. How
about
about this? How about that John Cusack? Did you guys see it trending on
I
Twitter?
did. That was hilarious, man.
He got approached. So do you think it's okay to cheer for, if you live in a two-city sports town, do you think it's okay to cheer for the Cubs and the White Sox? You think it's okay to cheer for the Mets and the Yankees?
Yeah.
No way. No way.
No,
Not same state. You can't even do it in the same state. If there's a Grand Rapids baseball team and you're cheering on for Grand Rapids and Detroit, it's like, all right, who are you with?
why would you not support the state that you're in?
That's
Come on, it's a
come on. Aren't
rivalry.
you a fan of one of the teams?
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of
I'm a
Michigan. I'm not a
diehard
fan of
Lions.
Michigan.
I'm a
Cookie, are
diehard
you-
Michigan State fan, but if Michigan won
Oh,
if Michigan won it, I would be happy for your Michigan team, and I would want
I was
Michigan.
rooting for Michigan
I
State
would-
to lose in the
No,
I hope
I-
Michigan State loses every game.
Okay,
Same.
all right. Well, I want the
Fucking
state of
stupid fucking
Michigan.
game.
I want the state of Michigan to be on top. So if there was a 2-team in the
That's
state
terrible.
of Michigan, I would want the state of Michigan. If it's Michigan versus Michigan State, no, definitely not. I'd rather.
What's Cookie the emotional roller coaster?
Yeah, you were.
I told you guys. I am an emotional guy.
I think it's
and I-
insane if you root for your rival.
Thank you.
What's the point of a rivalry?
Thank you.
What's the point of you being like, oh, I like the Cubs. I'm a Cubs.
Okay,
fan.
all right,
Being
all
like, I
right,
hope
all
the
right.
White
Wait.
Sox win
A
every game.
big rivalry is Michigan
That's the point
versus
of the game.
Michigan versus Ohio State. And would you rather have Ohio State, a Big Ten team, win the
No.
national
Ohio
championship?
State lose every
No,
game.
I hope Ohio State loses every game.
I want Big Ten to represent in the national
I don't-
championship.
I really don't
Represent
care,
these
to be
fucking
honest.
nuts. What the fuck you
I
mean?
really don't
represent?
care. Yeah, it's
Hey,
like,
question.
are you
Wait,
a
wait, no.
Celtics or a Lakers fan? Like, like you don't root for the Lakers to win the
But here's the
championship
thing,
every
like
year.
what the argument was, oh, the Cubs were good a few years ago. They won a World Series. You were following the Cubs when they were good. Now that the
Yeah.
Cubs are bad and the White Sox are in,
You're here with the
you
White
got people
Sox
who
hat.
are being in with the White Sox. Like, I think that is horrific. You either ride or die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
You either
I'm
ride
100%
or
with you.
die.
Hey, all right. Question. Do you guys know that song? It's like Thunder, the Thunder.
Lightning.
Yeah, who sings that?
Lightning. Why don't you just put it in your phone, fucking idiot? Google
I'm not-
Thunder and Lightning. I'll do it for you.
I'm
right
not-
I
now.
think he thinks we're like Shazam or something. Start singing it and we'll tell you.
No, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Who is it?
It's the thunder and
Yeah.
the lightning.
Yeah,
When they come,
I'm not on my phone. We're recording.
That's
a
Imagine
podcast.
Dragons.
Yeah, imagine dragging these nuts across your face, bitch. All right. So,
Wait.
guys, thank you all for listening, sticking with it. I hope the end really made it all. Jay, you got anything else to say for us?
No, just great job, dude. You did a good job today. Awesome host.
Thank
Cook-
you. Boon, you got something?
Michigan State -4.5.
Thank you. Guys,
There you go,
like,
Cookie.
subscribe, leave us some comments. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. All right. Because you know what? Out here in 2.5 Fans, we're out here changing Detroit sports media, and we're going to continue
you
doing it
guys.
that way. Love you guys.
Go Lions, go blue.
Go green, go white, go Lions, go Pistons, and fuck Woodward
Go
Sports.
Cubs, go
Fuck-
White Sox, go
fuck the
Yankees,
Bengals.
go Mets.
Yeah,
Go
go everybody.
Lions. Go Lions. Go
Let's
green,
just all have fun out there.
go
I love you guys.
Pistons.
Have a great
and
week.
fuck Woodward Sports.
Fuck them.
All right, guys.